Charlie Crist is ahead of Marco Rubio, who, 3 months ago had surged ahead and looked like he was the inevitable victor there. On the Democratic side, Jeff Green has, his money and the influence he's had has been able to pull ahead of Kendrick Meek, and whatever the matchup is in the general election, Charlie Crist seems to have the edge over either Democrat at this point. So it's kind of an interesting turnaround.
Well, Steve, Marco Rubio, for a while, he looked like he was really moving rapidly toward victory. And again, Charlie Crist kind of took his wind out of Rubio's sails. But what's Rubio doing?
What Rubio is doing is he's spending way too much money. Rubio has raised about $8 million. Check me on these numbers here, but he's got like $4 million in the bank. He spent half his money already. Charlie Crist wouldn't spend a nickel if he didn't have to. Charlie Crist is very miserly about stockpiling his money for TV ads at the end. And so Rubio has the potential to snatch a defeat from the jaws of victory here. What we have in this race is something that's truly unique in the annals of Florida politics. We're going to have in November 3 candidates who are roughly equally qualified, or in other words, there's no overwhelming favorite. We've kind of agreed that Crist seems to have the edge, but Rubio can still win this race. It seems implausible to me that either Meek or Green can win this seat. They're both very flawed candidates, and it looks like Green may be the nominee. So what you have in that situation, that's something we're not really used to writing about and watching, is a 2-against-1 situation. Charlie Crist does not have the money in this race that he's had in his past races, and he could be on the receiving end of brutal attack ads from both the left and the right.
Yep. Are they? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mary.
Well, one thing that these polls are showing, which is fascinating, is that Charlie Crist gets 20% of the independent vote. He gets 20% of the Republican vote, and he gets 40% of the Democratic vote, and the rest are undecided. So that's fascinating. He is obviously pulling and hurting the Democrat.
He gets more than 20% of the
So the Democratic Party is really going to have to unload on Charlie Crist if they want to have their nominee stand any chance at all.
And I've got a quick comment about the legislative session that didn't accomplish anything. What that session accomplished for Charlie Crist was the template of a 30-second attack ad for Charlie Crist to say, those Republican politicians in Tallahassee are not looking out for you. You're going to see Charlie Crist come general election time. It's get even time with all this Republican noise that they're making.